Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Talking with PB. I was gonna say Talking with PB Dota 2, but it's not anymore. Or maybe it is, who knows? Maybe you guys didn't like the whole Need for Speed thing. I'm recording it over in Need for Speed just to get a general time. But you know me, I always do the whole talk for longer than I'm supposed to thing. I just finished watching going on a marathon of all 35 episodes of Carmilla that are out at this moment. Now, when you're watching this, there will be all 36 out because the 36th episode comes out technically tomorrow. It is 2 a.m. on a Monday, but I just watched it all, and like I always do whenever I watch anything in bulk, I sort of take on a more literary analysis type mindset. Everything just becomes a little bit more flowery in my language because when I watch something or I listen to something seriously, you have to analyze that stuff. You have to think about not only, oh, this sounds good, that looks good, this is very enjoyable, good plot. You also think, oh, the lighting, the audio, the editing, the script, the jokes, the references. You have to think about a little bit of everything, even if you're just sitting down to enjoy it. Or at least I do because I've had enough classes on editing videos and, you know, videos in my lifetime to know a thing or two to watch for. Or, you've been on YouTube to see the evolution of the YouTube video or the evolution of certain YouTube channels and how they edit. And you see, the good from the bad or the clean from the bad. Everything's good in its own, in its own manner. But if you watch Carmilla, um, you understand why I'm a little down. I'm a little down, but I like my voice right now. I've been speaking a lot today, so I feel my voice is awake enough to make, you know, sounds whenever I speak. I'm probably speaking in a little bit of a lower octave, to be honest with you. I tend to do that. I don't know. Tell me, tell me what you guys think if you like the lower octave or not. Or maybe it's a little bit harder to hear. Who knows? I generally I have several speaking voices. I have the lower octave, the one where you don't really get any squeaks in my voice, or irritating sounds, as I like to call them. It's a much more smooth experience, um, except with my C's and my T's, but that's just, the English language. The English language, as much as people like to rag on German and possibly Russian for being harsh languages, English is just as harsh, um, just in its own ways. I personally think Spanish is a better language, naturally, as it's my first language. I like it a lot better. Let's see, I could say something in Spanish when I'm speaking like this before I cheer up and my voice goes back up to the less smooth range. Let's see, what could I say? I'll say my intro, I guess. Hola a todos, mi nombre es Pepe y hoy te voy a traer un nuevo episodio de Hablando con Pepe. Gracias por viniendo a este video y viéndolo. Lo aprecio bastante y te voy a ver en la próxima. Adiós. That was both the intro and the outro. Got a little bit fancy, little bit fancy. But yeah, I'm actually really anxious for episode 36. I'm a little heartbroken has a 21-year-old female who, especially right now, man, this is not coming out on a good day for me. Um, um, ever since I think it's mostly males who watch this series, so this might be a um, little information that guys don't like to hear about a lot. But I, uh, ever since college, I've had a very irregular menstruation cycle. Sometimes I have it, sometimes I go like 4 months without it, which is not healthy. If anyone ever tells you that and they're not on birth control, then it is not healthy for them, and they should go get it checked out. Unfortunately, when you are of a lower socioeconomic class, healthcare is not always, or medical insurance is not always, a thing you have. So you just gotta buck up and deal with it, as I have done. And it's still fairly irregular. I'm still fairly irregular. It's been a lot better, a lot better. I at least have it at least once a month, maybe. Sometimes I skip a month. Sometimes it's very late, which never happens for me. Anyways, I've sort of started my period. It probably starts for real like tomorrow or the day after. And today is Monday, which is what I mean by tomorrow. Because for me it's still Sunday. But this this one's turning out to be a rough one. Because my emotions are all over the place, and therefore my heart's gonna be broken into a million pieces because I'm not expecting episode 36 to be a happy one. I'm expecting it to be miserable and for me to be sad always. I'm expecting it to be. I expect it to be sort of like, oh, was it season three, two or three of Buffy the Vampire Slayer? If you've never watched it, what have you been doing with your life? What did you do in the 90s? This series went on for like 6 years. What have you been doing? But in season 2 or 3, the ending, spoiler alert, Buffy has to. Oh, I just thought about it. Buffy has to essentially kill Angel, her boyfriend, and the man that she loves, vampire, coincidentally, and with a sword. um, and yeah, that's how you end it. And it's even worse. It breaks your heart just a little bit more because Willow, the witch, or the budding witch, she's not a witch then, she is later on, but she pulls off a ritual which because he was evil, he, he his soul got taken away because he had a soul, but then it was taken away, which is why vampires are essentially evil because they have no souls in that lore, anyways, in the Buffy lore. And so he gets his soul back, which makes him good again and makes him recognize, the things that are happening around him. And right as Buffy is about to, impale him on this sword, Angel goes, "Buffy?" And Buffy looks at him and stabs him into whatever she had to, and Angel goes to hell. Yep, that's how that ends. And then later on, he gets out and blah 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 blah. There were 6 seasons of it, and then Angel got his own show. Obviously, he's not dead. But that's how that season ended, and that's sort of how I'm anticipating this. I anticipate that. Obviously, you guys know if you watch it, and I know by the time this comes out, because this is my third one. This is the third. This comes out December the 8th, I believe. No, 9th probably. Because these come out on Tuesdays and Saturdays probably. It depends how many I make of these. If I make a lot of these, it'll be every Tuesday and Saturday. And if not, it'll be every Tuesday. So that's something to look forward to. But yeah, I'm expecting. I was gonna call her Natasha. That's the actress's name, Natasha Negovanlis. I always want to say it in Spanish, Negovanlis, even though it's not a Spanish name. I believe it is fake Greek, as she puts it. Um, her character Carmilla, I expect if she does come back in the 36th episode, and she's not dead, that she's gonna come back as the Dean, or that's gonna be the big plot twist that she comes back as the Dean, or this evil thing, or there's gonna be some stipulation that if Carmilla comes back, because there always is, there's always that stipulation, there's always the bad thing that has to happen if the anti-hero ends up being the hero. They can't just, be happy. It's not the Joss Whedon way, guys. It's not the Joss Whedon way. No one can ever be happy. Buffy can never stay in fucking heaven. Her friends just have to save her. Whatever. Yeah. Oh man. Sorry about that. My mother just walked into my room and told me good night. Anyways, Carmilla is such a great web series. I greatly recommend it. I still have to go out and read the original text, but I have heard a lot about the original text. As someone who is somewhat active in the fandom, I'm not like hugely active because the season's not over, and I don't want to invest myself too much. Even though I already sort of am. You follow one Carmilla fan blog or one person who is a fan of Carmilla on Tumblr, and all of a sudden you get all the worst possible fan art in the world. We are a masochistic group of SOBs, guys. A masochistic group. Holy, there's this one webcomic. Let me see if I can pull it up. It is so just everyone in the fandom's like, oh, even in the Twitter, the way that this web series is run is that it also has Tumblrs for each of the characters and Twitters for each of the characters, and like the people who wrote the series run these blogs. Let's just look up the tag. I feel like that'll go faster. And and obviously Laura's right now is absolutely heartbreaking, guys. It is heartbreaking. Heart is dead. I believe it was like, I don't even care if I flunk out now. At least I'll be able to go home to my dad. And let's look up at Laura to the letter. There we go. If you want to follow her, it's at Laura to the number 2, the letter. Oh man, my internet is not cooperating with me. I literally just watched the entire series with very little interruption. I am very unhappy that this is happening at this very point in time in life. What is even running right now? Let's try and run this, and maybe that'll work. Yep, alright. This is what she tweeted. Um, this is what she posted yesterday or the day before. She wrote, "It doesn't matter," or here we go. It's, "I know there were some finals I missed, and maybe some papers due, but I just can't seem to care." The next one is, "It doesn't matter if I flunk out. I'll just go home to my dad and my books and my old bed and stay there forever." And these are especially heartbreaking. Betty's being really nice and all, especially for someone with no memory of the last several months, or ever being my friend. Especially considering I flipped out when she tried to take back her pillow. Hmm, yeah. And then someone else wrote something that just completely broke my heart. It was something like, "Is Carmilla with my mom?" And if you don't know, Laura only lives with her dad. So that one's just like, and that was in a fan run blog. That wasn't just a regular run of the mill, someone else doing it. That is, that was someone who is a fan of the series, and everyone was just like, "Do you think this is a game? Why do you think this is okay? This is not okay. What are you doing?" I can't even, guys. I misspelled Carmilla, guys. I forgot the R. God, it's a really good little comic strip. It starts off with Laura. Maybe I should just look it up. Carmilla comic strip heartbreaking. Do you think that'll pop it up? Let's take off Tumblr. I don't know why Tumblr takes up so much just of my bandwidth. Is that the correct term? Or like none of it at all? Either it takes it all or none of it. Wow, Google not working for me. Carmilla comic strip heartbreaking. I feel like that's a good representation of this all. Oh, sorry. It's about to be 3 a.m. I'm a little bit tired. But my heart is in this is my life is on. Here we go. Oh god, no, I found it. This is actually I love it. The bottom, you know what it says? It says on the bottom, I see it in the description of the thing. It says, "We've all reblogged that comic. It's awesomely tragic. We get it. So why is it still coming around? We've all seen it. You don't need to reblog it again." Yep. Yep. Holy crap. Ah, sorry about that. Again, up really late, really tired. I need to. I don't know what that means. Interesting. Oh no. God damn it. Oh, it's an actual tag. I found it, but I feel like a lot of people reblog it. I found the tag. God, I just want to tell you guys what this is, but nothing is cooperating with me. Carmilla comic strip heart fandom Tumblr. Do you think that's specific enough? Seriously, right now, at the end of these episodes, I feel like ugly crying. If I were any younger, I would be ugly crying right now. Legitimately just dead. I would have died, and I'm done. Carmilla fandom. After that, it's just heartbreaking. And I feel like it's just like if you guys are fans of Doctor Who, I'm about to spoil a lot of things, guys. So give yourself like a minute or two before you listen back into this. But in Doctor Who, there is at the end of probably the fourth season, maybe the fifth, um when there is the Cybermen versus Dalek war in the secondary dimension, um and the Doctor puts the teleporter on Rose, and and then Rose is forever stuck away from the Doctor forever. That's yep, yep. I was ugly crying, like full on, just pure sobbing, yelling, hitting my hand into the pillow in my bed. I was so upset. I could not handle it, guys. Could not handle it. Because also, and even worse than that, that wasn't even, the tip of the iceberg, to be honest. After that, it was the. Sorry, just. I started reading a lot of things. Fuck, what was I gonna say? What was I saying? Oh, and then, tip of the iceberg, Rose and the Doctor. Although, will always be one of the saddest things. Then there was Donna. That one was just anger and sadness and just flailing around with anger that this had to happen. And then oh man, I probably made you guys yawn a shit ton of times, so I apologize. Then of course there were the pawns. I was never too fond of Rory, to be completely honest with you. But the end of the Amy Pond storyline just tore me apart. Because I was like, no! 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 I was just finally getting to like all of that. And then, let's see what was after it. Wait, who did that? Oh my god, I hate it when people don't have a very obvious next page thing, or they don't have the scrolling thing. Oh my god. What does this mean? What does that number mean? And then I haven't watched this latest season of Doctor Who. Hold on. Nope, we're going back. I just read a fan theory. Oh my god, maybe I should just not read this right now. Let's just finish this. Let's talk about other things. Let's not talk about Carmilla. Let's talk about personality types. I'm a red. If you've read the color code, I'm red. I am out of chef. If we want to go 10 out of a scale of 10, I am 6 red and 4 blue. But red is my extremely dominant personality trait, and I feel like if I ever, well, when I get married, um, my significant other, my wife, it's gonna have to be a red. I feel like we're gonna have to have a Mr. and Mrs. Smith type relationship. You know, the Mr. and Mrs. Smith movie with Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. Before they were quote unquote in a relationship, but we all knew. We saw that chemistry. We knew the chemistry as they felt the chemistry. Oh, excuse me. Um, I laughed. No, I feel like that's the type of relationship we're gonna have to be in. I need someone who's very challenging, who challenges me, who intellectually with and also with my decisions, and doesn't just let me do what I want or let me run them over, because I have a very strong personality. In my biology class, this will be the last story I tell in my biology class. I we got in groups. It was a joke of a class, so we got in groups. We were able to talk all the time together, and so I tend to cater to other people's, personalities. So if I ever need something, I can get it from them because they'll be partial to me. But um, this one day I was not having it. My biology class was my second class of the day, and it was after a 3 hour break from my first class, and then it was like a 4 hour class because I had lab also right afterwards, and therefore I was not very partial to the class sometimes. So I was very upset that I had to be there, and well, I wasn't upset. I was just sort of tired. I was done with the day. And so I wasn't, catering to anybody's personality. And so I was, more of my true personalities sort of shone through. And I'm sort of a bitch, guys. I am not afraid to speak my mind. I'm a very blunt person, just in general. I don't really sit there and have idle talk. I don't placate your um small idle small talk. Yeah, small talk, pretty much. I don't, that's not a thing I really do. I'm just like, nope, nip that in the bud and tell you the real truth. Like, I don't do small talk. And therefore, this one day, I was just not having small talk with anyone, and they were like, and someone commented on it. Oh, you know who it was? Because I also do a teasing thing. I always tease people. Like, it's not that I don't mean it, it's just that I don't care about the little things I tease you about. Um, and my way of showing you that I could give less than two fucks is making fun of you. So if I make fun of you, it's a terms of endearment, and it means that I don't really care, but it just to make you aware. And so, sorry, just read something. And so in every group of girls, and probably boys too, I'm just not hip with the boys. Every group of girls, there's that one friend, who's the like head bitch, Everyone else can be a bitch, but she's the head bitch. She is the one who will speak her mind, and she will border on mean. And every group has them. And so we were there, and we quote unquote had one, and I think she was a year younger than me actually. And so we were there, and I was just having no shit from anyone. I was just like, nope, you're wrong, and this and this and this, and this is the right thing. But in a nice way. I didn't say it meanly. I'm not a mean person. I can be mean, but I'm not, a mean person. and and she was like, man, you're being a real bitch today. And I'm like, yeah, well. And everyone else was just like, yeah, I noticed that too. You were being a real bitch. And I'm like, that's because you've seen nice me. You've seen the me you wanted to see. Because that's the me I showed you guys. But this is more, airing on who I really am. And they're like, oh, well, whatever. You're still a cool person. But our quote unquote alpha bitch, she was just like, oh. And so when we left left the lab later that day, she was like, there can be only one bitch, but it was just me and her. And I'm like, oh, please, honey, I have years of experience over you. I trained under the best, and you, honey, aren't even touching it. And so she didn't have anything to say. That's how you win a bitch fight. If you ever want to know how you win one of those, is that the other one has nothing to say, because the thing about being the head bitch, or the differences between just regular bitches and head bitches. I apologize if you don't like the term bitch, but I feel like that is the best term to describe what I am trying to say. But the difference between the two is that you only speak the truth, but you speak it in such a way that has a little bite to it. Like it's not mean, but it just has the wording that makes it sound a little bit mean. And so, or like you're better than the other person. And it's not meant to, be super super mean, but it's there. And the difference between alpha and not alpha, and like the minions, not the minions, but the lowers, the lower bitches, is that the alpha always has something to say. They always have the last word, and they could go on for as long as they need to. And the way you're the beta, if you're having a quote unquote head an alpha fight, is the one who gets the last word. And if you decide not to fight anymore, and sure enough, just gonna brush my shoulders off. I then after that, I was the alpha bitch after that, because she didn't have anything to say, and then she dropped out of the class for unrelated reasons. But I was just like, I won, guys. I am the alpha. I am the alpha of this classroom right here. And sort of, and I remember texting my friend Jane, because she is the alpha of the alphas. She has got that on lockdown, and that's because she's a psych major. So there's very little I could do to touch her. But I feel like I'm getting closer to her level. I'm inching up there. And so yeah, that's the story of the time that when I became alpha. The alpha was meant to be in my biology class. And it's not really an accomplishment. It's just sort of like a moral victory for myself, being like, yes, I have proven to myself that I can still be this person. I can still be myself and win. And people still like me, essentially. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. This was a very Carmilla concentrated episode. But I hope you guys still enjoyed it. Thank you. Oh, question of the day, guys. Tell me, what is your favorite TV show of all time? What is that one show that you could own the box sets or set for the rest of your life and only watch that? If we're gonna watch TV, that's the only thing you can watch. For me, oh man, it would either have to be Buffy the Vampire Slayer or Grey's Anatomy. It would have to be one or the other. I think it would have to be, if it were life or death, it'd probably be Buffy. Just because I feel like I love that series a little bit more, or at least I could watch the first few seasons a million times. I feel like Grey's Anatomy after like the 50th view would be get a little old. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to answer the question of the day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!